Okay, Kai. Hi.
Hi. So on this call, uh, w- I like to talk about how how the uh, how in the game of the world uh, when our team one is repromising, how that process goes. So in the middle of the quarter, typically we get to a classroom and then we're saying the team one, uh, our game is really promising. It can happen in the game in the center. It can happen in the game in the world.
You're talking about revoke and promise newly?
Revoke and promise newly. Yes,
Mhm.
thank you. So what's the intention of the revoke and promise newly?
Great
So
question. Why don't you tell me?
so the way I see is twofold. Again, Kai's version. The first fold is to uh, keep the teaming possibility.
Mhm.
When we're out of integrity, uh, in the same way, when we're out of integrity, our possibility is in the line. So say we promise 22 uh, of registration into cap course, but we only have two. Now revoke and repromise will have us to study what works, what doesn't work, and creating a new structure. Ideally, accomplish the original 22 promise, but the possibility is more important than the performance. So, so keeping the teaming possibility, that's a first fold. And the second purpose is revoke and promise is part of the conversation of completion. And how conversation completion work is to see what works, acknowledge, and to see what doesn't work, creating newly.
So, just looking at it, are we coming from team two's perspective or team one's
Team one's
perspective?
perspective.
Team one's perspective. Okay.
Yes, the superior team one's perspective. So, so then from the team one's perspective, first of all, we got to see what the commitment is. So the say team commitment is registered 22 into absolute power. So the creating a new structure will be revolved around what new feasible opportunity, what new structure needs to be created such that we can continue to accomplish uh, 22 registration. And if 22 registration is way too far, what new promise we can so that it become more achievable.
So, what would stop a team one then from promising 0 or 1? Because that could be achievable too.
Great question. So so here is where I introduce the team one's accountability and team two's accountability is different. So team one's accountability is always result. Team two, particular team two, team leaders accountability is the training development or growth of the being.
The what?
Growth, growth of the being. So
Of the being. Okay.
yes, or we call that training development. So each accountable, each accountable training development. That's team two's accountability. So be, because the accountability is different. So what team two does in this situation has two main goals. The first goal is to keep possibility alive. Remember, keeping possibility alive is always team two's job, the main job. Team two's main job is to keep possibility alive. So if the team one is so much in resign that he says, I'm just gonna promise 0, then the team two got to look at what can I do to actually having team one excited in playing this game, because promise 0 basically saying I'm not playing at all. And so the team one is out of possibility. When team one is out of possibility, that is team two's breakdown. If team one is in possibility, but fail to perform, that's not team two's breakdown. That's team one's breakdown. As long as team one is in possibility, but ineffective in game.
So what if team two, okay, let's say that team two, or team one, let's say team one promises 10.
Yes.
And they're excited and they're
They're
pumped up.
excited.
Yes, they're trying, they're having
Yes.
all these events. And they're like,
Yes.
we can do this. But they're still not registering anyone.
Exactly. So as long as they're excited, team one is in breakdown, team two is not. Because their commitment is different. Their accountability is different. It's like you are clear the team one is falling off the bike, but he's excited getting on the bike, saying, I want to try this, 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 I want to see this new feasible opportunity. So team one is in breakdown because he failed to perform, but team two is not. The team two is cheerleading on, saying, okay, go do that, go do that, go do that. Team two does not need to do anything. But team one is creating new structure to try.
Gotcha.
So
now let me throw another one at you. Let's say that they promise 10.
Mm-hmm.
And they have registered 4.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
they're like, I don't know what else to do. I'll try anything, but I need more guidance. I don't know what to do. I have no help. What am I going to do?
Fantastic. So the team two accountability has clearly two. Well, the first is keep possibility alive. So in this case, the possibility is still alive for team one. He says, I try everything I can think of. I run out of noodles.
Throwing a noodle against the wall.
Yes. Now, it is the second one that team two needs to inject, which is training development. So in gaming the world, we talk about in previous course, the creation is a team sport. Unfolding is a team sport. Managing is a team sport. What likely happen is the accountable himself is play solo in creation, play solo in unfolding, play solo in managing. So when he's play solo in creation, I'm like thinking out of my brain, how do I do this? How do I do this? He out of idea. The symptom is I ran out of noodles. When he plays solo in unfolding, saying, okay, this is the only thing I see, he out of action item. And when he plays solo in managing, he's overwhelmed. So these are the symptoms that accountable is playing solo. Now, what team two, since team two, I'm responsible for his training development. I need to convert him from playing solo to creating teamwork in the area of creating game, unfolding game, and managing game. So then I need to introduce saying, in the creation part, I will ask a question saying, okay, how many people you have asked of giving you idea of registering 20 people? Now I'm gonna request you to talking to 10 people, asking each one of them give you 5 ideas of how to register 22 people. And this does not necessarily needs to be all teams. Go outside of team for Christ's sake. And talking to anyone, give me 10 names and give me a promise you're talking to those 10 people, asking each one of them give me 5 ideas. So what I am doing is actually converting him from a solo in creating game to creating teams to creating teamwork in game creation. So I will deal with his resistance, and but eventually, what I am going to take him into is it become natural to him, so that in the future when he go to create a game, he's no longer saying I'm gonna just breaking my head myself come up with idea. He naturally go to the way using team and teamwork to create a game.
So what I'm hearing is that we're looking for indicators from team one about where the breakdowns are.
Mm-hmm.
And these are some of the hints that we can focus on. Are you playing it alone? Are you in possibility? Where is the breakdown so we can address that? And inside of training and development, which is not just the 3 hour session that they have, which totally can use it, but it can be on the weekends, it could be anywhere. And it really encouraging them to go outside of team because that's where the magic is going to be.
I would say slightly different
Mhm.
because first possibility is the island by its own. One possibility is out, nothing works.
Right.
So possibility is by itself a whole island. But one possibility is alive, then then I am actually creating, I'm not encouraging the team. I'm not only encouraging the team one. Through my speaking, I'm actually getting team one's promise into action.
Mhm.
Because through my conversation, I'm already saying, give me 10 names. Now, by one, you will talk to those 10 people.
So
And
together you're partnering to play the game.
exactly. I'm already putting team one in action and not encouraging him. I'm actually getting the promise. So between this call and next call, he's already given me word to go to play.
Mhm.
So that's the first part. Is in team creation. How do I inject moving the team one from solo player to team player in game creation? Now in the unfolding, exactly same thing. And then he has all the feasible opportunity, and then he says, okay, I only come up with like two items to work, and then like all of those actions I have to do it myself. I cannot find anybody who's taking on this item. That is the sign he does not using team
The
and teamwork
technology.
in unfolding.
And he's not doing the technology of accomplishment.
Yes, exactly. So then I am gonna ask questions saying, okay, so whose idea is that? So ask that person saying, okay, like your feasible opportunity is fantastic. How do we make it happen? What do you see? What do you see needs to be done to make that feasible opportunity happen? And then basically working through that person so that that person unfolds instead of him unfolds. Because the key thing is then that person becomes the owner of the unfolding. So and naturally you causing teamwork for that person to take the leadership in that feasible opportunity instead of you, the team one has to do everything.
So it's
So
almost like causing him or her to become team two and create possibility for
yes,
others.
yes, exactly. In a way, it is. He's gonna motivate the his team member to take the leadership in unfolding and fulfill the feasible opportunity.
That's wonderful.
And then and that's the area I'm seeing. If he's playing solo in team unfold in game
Mhm.
unfolding, I will inject again. It's not encouraging. Everything I talk to will convert into promise. And then I will say that's fantastic. I'm not going to request you talking to that person by this time. Do you accept? So then out of this conversation, he's going to be in action.
Mm.
Like my job as team two is putting him in action. Now, one go to managing exactly the same thing. He says, "Oh my God, I need to call. We have 20 people in team. I have to manage everyone. I have to check with everyone of how their progress in in uh, in action, and that's a sign he's overwhelmed because he's playing solo in managing of the game.
Mm.
And then my job is to having him come up with idea of how to utilizing teamwork to manage the game. And then of course, when he says, okay, I'm gonna ask that person's managing the game, but that person is declining to manage the game, then it's a possibility issue. So then I'm gonna causing him to think of how do you put people in possibility in playing with you.
So the Revoke and Promise Newly is not just about results, how to attain the results, but it's really looking at the training and development.
If you're team 2, yes.
If you're team 2. If you're team 1, then you're
Yes,
looking at
the result. If
the
you're team
result.
1, you're focused on the result, yes. But if you're team 2, that is an opportunity for you to see where I can put in the training development in the real world, like in the action this week.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Thank you so much, Kai. That was great.